Hi everyone, I'm John, and welcome to Let's Balance. This is a slow flow yoga practice. We're going to be focusing on some balancing postures, some of my favorites. Tree pose and another posture called Warrior 3. Now, balancing in yoga will certainly help you to balance on one foot, but balancing also helps you with focus and concentration. Now, when we do balancing poses, one target area is actually our core. So we'll be doing a little core work as well. Just drawing in your navel to engage your abdominal muscles. So we'll do some abdominal strengthening postures as well. We also need some props. I have a chair here. That's going to help me balance. So if you have something to help support your body while you're balancing today, grab a chair or even just stand next to a wall or a table. That's all you need. Think that's it? Let's get started. Let's start in the standing position in mountain pose. So I invite you to stand with your feet about hip distance apart with your toes pointing forward. Creates a nice alignment in the lower half of your body. You can just bring your arms down by your side. Let's start with a few deep breaths. You're going to inhale and just feel the breath rising upward to fill your lungs. Exhale. Do that again. Inhale, feel the breath rising, filling up your lungs. Now on this exhale, as you're able, draw your navel in towards your spine. Inhale, good lift and length of the spine. Fill up your lungs. Exhale, draw belly in. What you're doing here is creating an abdominal lock. It's a light engagement of your abdominal muscles. It's going to help us with our balancing postures today. Gives you a good sense of support and strength. 2 more breaths. Inhale, long spine. Fill up your lungs. Exhale, draw belly in. Feel that core connection. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Let's begin our movement from the top of the mat. Inhale, extend your arms overhead, a nice stretch. Exhale, fold forward, a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to as you make your way down toward your toes. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees and extend your spine, creating a long, flat back. Exhale, fold. Nice release. Shift your weight into your heels, bend your knees like you're about to sit down, and extend your spine. Take your arms out to the side, then float all the way back up into your tall, reaching into the air like this. Exhale, bring your arms back down by your side. Just hold for a moment, because as we stand in mountain pose, you can really consider this a balancing posture. We're balancing on our own 2 feet. Let's go through that half salute to the sun one more time. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Just feel that nice length through the sides of your body. Exhale, swan dive forward, hinging at the hips. Touch your toes. Inhale, rise up halfway, creating that long, flat back. Exhale, back down we go. Same weight shift into your heels, bend your knees, extend your torso, arms out to the side as you inhale, grow tall, reach into the air, and exhale, arms down to your side. We're just going to keep the body in motion as we add on to our sequence. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the air. Good energy through your arms, hands, and fingers. Exhale, fold forward. Take your time and bend your knees. Inhale, rise up halfway. Feel that nicely extended spine. Exhale, fold. Now bend your knees quite a bit so you can place your hands on the mat out in front of you so you can walk or step your feet back into plank pose. A nice full breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air, just like this, and this should guide you into downward facing dog. I'm taking a few tiny steps forward to adjust my feet, and I'm also adjusting my hands to help settle into the pose. You can keep a good bend in your knees here too. When your knees are bent, it'll keep your hips mobile so you can continue to send your hips into the air, creating a nice long torso. helps to extend the spine. These two will help with our balancing postures. Take a full breath in. Exhale, walk or step both feet, returning to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, extend through your spine. Exhale, fold. That same weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Coming up, reaching into the air. Exhale, arms return to your side. Let's keep it moving. We're just going to add on. Inhale, reaching into the air. We're just warming up the body. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rising halfway. Feel the fully extended spine. Exhale, melt your way down, hands to the floor. Walk or step back into plank pose. Now, the first time, we move directly into downward facing dog, which you can do here as well. Or, after the first inhale, exhale and bend your elbows, squeeze them in towards your ribs, and lower your way down towards the floor here. Long legs, point your toes behind you, press your hands into the floor, and just lift your chest just a little bit to locust pose. It's a mild back bend. Push yourself to hands and knees, tuck your toes, lift your knees, then hips into the air, downward facing dog. Let's continue with some lunges. Inhale, extend your right leg up into the air. Exhale, bend your right knee, shift forward through the knee, stepping near the top of the mat, landing here. Turn left heel to the floor behind you. And walk the hands back just slightly to help extend the spine. Then hinge your way up from hips. Inhale, reaching both arms into the sky. Exhale, open to a warrior two. As we arrive in warrior two, let's make some adjustments. I'm going to move my right foot forward a little bit, left foot back, feeling well balanced even in this posture. Extend your arms so they're parallel to the floor. Now, even though we're not balancing on one foot, I still would consider this a balancing pose, because sometimes it can be a challenge to be balanced in a lunge, and that's exactly what we're doing here. Let's take side angle pose. We're reaching forward to create an angled upper body. Rotate the arms here so your right arm is on the inner right leg, while left hand reaches into the air. Feel free to look up past your left hand. And to get a little bit of a side stretch, let's extend the left arm overhead like so. Feel what's happening down through the whole left side of your body. Now, inhale, exhale, carefully turn, fold, hands to the mat, slide the right foot back. Here's plank pose. You can take the same shortcut to downward facing dog, or finish your push-up. Modified, you can bring the knees to the floor first, bend your elbows, lower your way down. Let's return to our locust pose. Push back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes so you can lift your knees into the air as well as your hips. Downward facing dog. Ready for the same sequence on the other side. So inhale, extend left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee. We're stepping through. Just bring it near the top of the mat or near your left hand. Right heel turns to the floor, shifting weight. Now here you're already creating balance in the body. Right now, there's too much weight forward in my front foot. I'm finding balance by sending some weight back into this back foot. Rise up to fingertips, extend the spine. Inhale, hinge from hips, rising up, reaching into the air. There's our warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. I'm going to make my same adjustments. I like to have a little bit more distance between the feet. So I'm wiggling the left foot forward, right foot back, settling into the center. So another thing about balancing is you're creating center, a centeredness. Holding here for a moment. And then our side angle pose, reaching forward. Nice angled upper body, rotate the arms, reaching down, reaching up. Nice opening up through the heart space as well. Let's get that side stretch. Right arm reaching overhead, lengthening down through the right side of your body. Take a couple more breaths here. Then inhale, ready to move. Exhale, carefully turn and fold. Hands down to the floor. Slide the left foot back, plank pose. Finish the sequence as you'd like. Here's our low cobra. As you inhale, nice heart opener. Exhale, push back hands and knees. Tuck toes. Lift knees and hips, downward facing dog. Let's come down to our knees here. Sit back briefly in hero pose. Now I mentioned a core, working our core to help us with balance. So my favorite core position is actually boat pose. So let's move into boat pose. So I invite you to take a seat here. We're going to do two versions of this posture. One, we'll start with the feet on the floor. Heels on the ground, flexed feet, knees bent, and just hold on to the backs of the knees. As you hold on, lift yourself up, nicely extended spine, straight as can be, and then slowly lean back. Now you don't have to lean back too far. Now the more that you lean back, the more your core muscles or your abdominal muscles will engage. So you're going to inhale just to continue this lengthening through the spine as you're sitting. Exhale, you can breathe out through the mouth here. And you'll feel your abdominal muscles engage. So this is version one. So you can hold just like this. Now another version is to step the feet a little closer towards yourself, lean back a little bit more. We're also creating more balance so that we can actually lift the feet into the air like this. I like to keep the knees bent. I'm still holding on to the legs to ensure that extended spine. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Core strengthening in our boat pose. Good. Let's take a breath in and exhale. We're going to cross the legs as you're able. Roll forward over your cross legs onto your hands. Step both feet back, plank pose. Let's all just take a shortcut to downward facing dog. Arriving here, remember you can keep a good bend in the knees. Lift through the hips, long torso. Take a breath. On the exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into your heels. Bend your knees. Lower your hips like you're sitting down. Extending through your torso. Arms out to the side. Rise up. Inhale, reaching into the air. Extended mountain pose. Exhale, arms return to your side. Let's roll the shoulders a little bit. All right, let's get into our first featured posture, tree pose. Now this is where you're going to use that prop. I'm going to bring in my chair. I'm just going to bring it right onto my yoga mat here. And just use it for a way to help you balance, since we're going to be standing on one foot. And we're going to be holding it for some time so we can get into the sense of balancing on one foot, finding that centeredness, and practicing concentration and focus. Alrighty, so starting in mountain pose. Remember, mountain pose is balancing on 2 feet. We're going to start with the right side, or you're going to be standing on your right foot. I'm going to mirror you here. So I have my chair to my side, hand is on the chair, ready for balance. Inhale, feel nice and tall. Exhale, draw belly in. That's our core engagement. Picking up left foot, I'm just peeling the heel off the floor, lifting the knee. Keep a flexed foot here, that'll keep the leg strong. So my thigh is about parallel to the floor here. Swing the leg out to the side. It might just be towards the corner of the room, which is just fine. If it can open up towards the side, that is also good. Several versions here. I'm going to hold on to my ankle. You can press the foot into the inner thigh. This is just one option. For that, you want to make sure you can actually bend your knee to do this. Or take the foot and place it below the knee, right at your calf. This is where I usually place my foot. If you need a little extra support, you can even bring your foot down to the floor. My heel is just above the ankle, and my toes are on the floor. So if you didn't have a prop like a wall or table, you can just use your own foot as a way to help balance. Stay nice and tall. Breathe in. Exhale, draw belly in. Now with the free arm, go ahead and inhale, take the arm up into the air. Exhale to hold. Now we are going to be holding this pose for a moment. What you want to do here is 1, continue focusing on your breath. Inhale to reach and extend the body. Exhale, continue to draw belly button in towards spine to engage your core. Next, you're also focusing on something out in front of you. It might be an object that's not moving, maybe on the wall across from you, or just gaze downward at the floor, something that has texture or color. That's the focus. That's the concentration that you're working on while you're in your balancing pose. Let's take a couple more breaths. Just keep the arms in the air. That knee that's pointing out to the side, just going to swing it forward, facing forward. Plant that foot into the ground. Feel that rebalance onto 2 feet. And we'll bring that arm back down to your side. All right, roll out the shoulders. Let's do the other side. I'm just going to move my chair over here. And here we go. First, balancing on 2 feet. Mountain pose. Standing nice and tall. Use the wall, table, or chair. Shifting weight now into your left foot. Root into the floor. You're going to feel this activation of the leg. Inhale, feel nice and tall, lengthening through spine. Exhale, draw belly in. This is all that preparation to balance. Peeling the right foot up off the floor, lifting so your thigh is parallel to the floor. Flexed foot just keeps the leg active. Swing the knee out to the corner of the room or the side of the room. I'm going to go to my default, just placing the foot just below the knee. Nice and tall with the free arm. Inhale and reach into the air. Deep breaths with that continual extension of the arms, reaching into the air. Exhaling, drawing belly in. Focusing on something out in front of you or on the floor. You can even get playful. Maybe you want to attempt to free up the other hand and reach it up into the air. This is our tree pose. Now don't worry if you lose your balance. That's just part of yoga. We lose our balance sometimes. And if that's the case, just step out of your pose, take a breath, and come back. Keep the one arm or 2 arms extended and swing the right knee forward. Lift your knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground, balanced on 2 feet, and then you can bring your arms back down by your side. So that's our tree pose. So you can balance on 1 foot with no props or use something to help you support your balance. All right, let's do another flow to keep the body in motion and warm. I'm just going to move my chair out to the side. Let's come back to our mountain pose. Let's move together. Inhale, extend your arms into the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward. Go at your own pace if I'm going too quickly. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins. Exhale, fold, bend your knees enough to place your hands on your mat. Walk or step the feet back, plank pose. Do a modified version of Chaturanga Dandasana by bringing knees to the floor, then the chest. We'll take a low cobra as you inhale. Exhale, press back to hands and knees. Tuck toes, lift knees, then hips. Downward facing dog. Let's continue with our warriors. Inhale, extend right leg up into the air. Exhale, stepping through to the top of the mat. Landing, left heel to the floor. Balance on 2 feet here. Centering the body. Inhale, rise up, reach into the sky. Exhale, open to warrior 2. Once again, finding your center, good balance, arms extended, right away to our side angle pose. Reach out, rotate the arms, reach right arm down, left hand into the air. We're still in motion, so inhale. Exhale, carefully turn and fold, hands to the floor, slide right foot back, plank pose, finishing your push-up. Any style is fine to make your way down. Slow lift for our heart opener. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ready for the other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Exhale, stepping through. Left foot landing near the top of the mat. Right heel turns to the floor. Find your center and balance. Extend your torso. Then hinge from hips with an inhale, reaching into the sky. Exhale, opening to warrior 2. Reaching forward as if you're reaching out to grab something. Angled upper body, rotate the arms, reaching high, reaching low. Inhale. Exhale, return to the floor. So fold and bend, hands to the ground, slide left foot back. There's plank pose. Finishing your push-up. Inhale to locust pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's hold for a few breaths. Inhale here, getting ready to move. Exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat. There's a forward fold. Inhale, extend through the spine. Slide your hands up to your shins. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Coming up, reaching into the sky. Exhale, arms down to your side. Very good. Alrighty, blood is flowing here, nicely warmed up. Alrighty, so we did Warrior 1, Warrior 2, there is a Warrior 3. Warrior 3 is a balancing posture. So let's bring in our prop again. Right there. And you're going to stand kind of back away from that table, chair, or wall, whatever you've got in front of you. And just work with me here. Standing in mountain pose, balance on 2 feet. Let's soften the knees a little bit. Then shift your weight into your right foot, making sure the knee stays bent. Okay, you want to feel very strong. That's going to be your standing leg. I'm going to reach out and just touch the top of my chair. That could be your table or wall. Just rely on that prop. I'm going to pick up my left foot. Pick it up and extend the leg back behind. Straight as can be. You can push through the heel of the foot, the balls of the foot, or point your toes. Right there is fine. So really, you can end your posture here for Warrior 3. We're balancing on 1 foot. We have 1 leg extended behind us and using our prop out front here for the support. Now you can actually tip this over a little bit more. Just bend your elbows, tip this like this was a scale. Send your heart down while the leg lifts behind you. So this is our variation of Warrior 3. In a moment, I'll show you the full version of the pose, but perfectly fine to use a prop like this to help with this balance. Just like in tree pose, there's a lot of extension, reaching through the back foot, extending through the crown of your head, core connection, belly button pulling up towards spine. You're focusing maybe straight down. To finish, we're going to bend this left knee, bring it in. Don't worry if your back rounds, it's perfectly fine. Bring your foot down to the floor, rebalance on 2 feet. Free up the hands. Let's inhale, reach the arms up into the air. Exhale, arms down to your side. Well done. So that's Warrior 3. Let's do the other side, and I'll also show you the full version of the pose. Alrighty, just make sure my props are in a good spot. Remember, just take a short step behind your prop there. Soft knees, balancing on 2 feet. We're shifting weight into the left foot now. Nice strong connection. I'm leaning into my chair. Let's pick up the right foot and extend the right leg back. Don't worry about the height. It's just about the full extension. This also is working through the hip. You can flex the foot, pushing through the heel, press through the balls of the foot, or point your toes. You can make sure this left knee stays bent. This is our pose. You can stay just like this for your Warrior 3, or kind of tip it over, send the heart down while the right leg lifts. And this can be your posture. Stay right where you are. I'm going to come out of the pose. I'm just going to move my chair forward there so I can move into the posture without the prop. So I'm balancing on my left foot, right leg is extended out behind me, tipping so I'm about parallel to the floor, and extend my arms forward, reach. Now this is the fuller version of the posture. You can do this and even touch the chair or wall out in front of you. If you don't have that prop, you can place 1 hand or even 2 hands on this thigh. Press into the thigh to keep that spinal extension. That's with an inhale. Exhale, draw that belly button up towards spine. All right, let's come out of the pose, bend the right knee, bring it in, set the foot down, rebalance on 2 feet. Inhale, rise up nice and tall, reach into the sky. Exhale, arms down to your side. Well done. Shake out those shoulders because all those arm extensions, but also walk out of the pose. That's a lot of hip work, a lot of balance on our feet. Wonderful. All right, let's flow. We're going to make our way down to the ground and finish up our practice. Meeting here in mountain pose. Inhale, sweep your arms into the air. Exhale, let's fold forward. Inhale, slide your hands up to the shins, extend through the spine. Exhale, fold, make your way down, hands to the floor. Walk or step back, plank pose. Finishing your push-up, I'm sending knees to the floor, then chest. Lift up partially through the heart space for the back bend. Exhale, push back to hands and knees. Lift knees and hips, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths right here. Then we'll gently set the knees onto the floor. Sit back briefly in hero. We're going to sit off to the side. Just sit in the center of your mat here. Go ahead and roll down onto your back. Go ahead and hug the knees into chest. Little movement here. Since we're balancing, check in with your feet and ankles. So you may want to circle the ankles one direction and the other direction. From here, let's move into a twist. Let's take both knees over to the left side as you extend your right arm off to the right side. We were doing quite a bit of core work to help us balance. So that involves our spine as well as our abdominal muscles. And so just finishing here with the twist can bring some relief to the spine as well as to the abdominal muscles. Let's do the other side. Let's bring the knees back up to center. You might pause in center for a moment just to allow the body to realign, and then twist to the other side. So knees to the right, left arm to the left. 3 to 5 breaths on each side is just about right. When you're complete, just bring the knees back up to center. Now we're ready for Shavasana. Bring your feet to the floor, then extend your legs out in front of you. Rest your arms down by your side, maybe palms up. Take a moment just to settle in. Take a nice deep breath in, then exhale completely. And feel your body just melt into the ground. Continue with slow, steady breaths. Feel free to keep your eyes open, just a soft gaze upward. If your eyes do remain open, it's another way of just focusing, concentrating. Maybe you're finding something like a speck or a little object above you. Just focus on that. Or focus inward by closing your eyes. Continue with slow, steady breaths here. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like, especially if you feel quite comfortable and relaxed. Then take this time for yourself. Shavasana is your time. Even as I come to the close of the practice and rise to seated, you're very welcome to stay right where you are in Shavasana. Before you start moving, maybe start the movement with breath. So here, just take 5 slow, deep breaths, or whenever you're ready to move. As you're breathing, just starting to feel subtle movements return to your body. You might wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your hands, move your feet. Then sometime after that 5th breath, move in slow motion. Bend your knees, set your feet on the floor. Use that as a way to help gently roll to one side of your body. You might even pause here for a moment in this nurturing pose. Continue to move as slowly as you can and rise to a seated posture. As you come up, you might come to a seated, cross-legged position, nice and long in the spine. As you inhale, just feel the breath rising to fill your lungs. Exhale gently, continue to connect to your center. You can just let your hands rest in your lap or bring hands to heart center. Take one more breath with me. Inhale. Exhale. And now as we come to the close of this portion of our journey together, we bow saying, Namaste.